Previously, he walks straight into the lion's den and challenges Duke Roderick, the feared monster of the main house. Everyone expects him to be crushed, but Aster tanks the hit, proves his loyalty to the Viscount, and survives. Forced to acknowledge him, the Duke lets him walk away, and Aster's reputation explodes. Still, surviving isn't winning, and his real struggle has only begun. We open on a stunningly beautiful day, with a bright blue sky and fluffy white clouds, perfect weather for what's about to happen. Down in the training courtyard, Aster is moving like a blur of shadows and steel. He's sparring with the house soldiers, but calling it sparring feels like an understatement. He sends one guy flying through the air with a single upward strike that looks more like a cannon blast than a sword swing. The soldiers on the sidelines are watching this 10-year-old boy tear through their ranks, and they're completely losing their minds. Sweat is pouring down their faces, not from the heat, but from pure nerves. One of them stammers out that ever since Aster came back from that sword dance gathering, he's been training with a level of intensity that's frankly terrifying. They mention the rumors how this kid didn't just participate, he actually took down Duke Roderick's third son in a duel. That's a massive deal because the main house has been forcing them to take insults for years, and now, finally, someone from their branch family is pushing back. It's a refreshing change for the soldiers, but watching Aster in action is a whole different thing. He swings his training sword with such fierce speed that the air itself seems to warp around the blade. He's dropping guards left and right, his face set in a look of pure focus. He's not even breaking a sweat while seasoned warriors are hitting the dirt, gasping for air. It's magnificent. Sure, but it's also kind of scary to see that level of power in someone who hasn't even hit puberty yet. Aster isn't just practicing, he's making a statement with every swing, proving that his performance at the gathering wasn't a fluke. It was a warning shot. While the soldiers are marveling at his skill, inside Aster's head, things are a lot more complicated. He's analyzing his own performance with a cold, critical eye. He acknowledges that he showed enough power and presence at the sword dance gathering to shut up the critics who called his adoptive father's house a disgrace. That's a win, sure. It reduces the insults aimed at the Viscount house. But Aster knows that's just the surface-level victory. His real target is still the main Elmheim house itself. As he effortlessly deflects two attackers at once, his mind flashes back to that encounter with Duke Roderick. The memory is burned into his brain, the overwhelming pressure of the Duke's aura. Aster admits to himself that, as he stands right now, he absolutely cannot beat Roderick. The gap is still too wide. He thinks about the lore of this world, how the wing crests are indicators of hidden magic power. Aster possesses the legendary 7 wings, a reservoir of magic so deep it's practically unheard of. But here's the kicker. Having the magic and controlling it are two very different things. We get this incredible visual of Aster launching himself into the air. A massive, dark, crimson aura exploding from his back like jagged wings of blood and shadow. He slams down with earth-shattering force, thinking that even natural magic is wasted if you can't harness it. He's frustrated because he still can't draw out the full power of those 7 wings without risking a total meltdown. He craves a way to test that power to his heart's content, to really let loose without worrying about losing control and hurting the people around him. It's a classic problem: unlimited power, but 0 safe ways to use it. He lands amidst a cloud of dust and debris, the red energy fading off his body like steam, leaving him standing there hungry for a solution to his magical bottleneck. The dust settles, and the scene is just total chaos in a non-lethal, training sort of way. Dozens of soldiers are sprawled out on the cobblestones, groaning in pain, clutching their bruised ribs and egos. Aster stands in the middle of this sea of defeated warriors, looking completely unbothered, and shouts, "Next! Is anyone available?" Silence. Absolute silence. Everyone is down for the count. He's literally beaten the entire garrison into submission. He sighs, realizing he went all out again without meaning to. Just then, a familiar voice calls out from the balcony. It's his red-haired sister, looking radiant and surprisingly sporty. She teases him, saying that Master Aster really doesn't know the meaning of restraint, and informs him that father is calling for him. But hold on, Aster notices something different. She's not wearing her usual frilly noble dress. She's decked out in a tight, functional training tunic and trousers, holding a wooden sword of her own. He blinks in surprise, pointing out that she used to say that kind of outfit wasn't cute. She just smiles, brushing a strand of hair from her face, and drops a surprisingly deep line. Balance is important in everything, right? She admits that watching him fight made her realize she can't just stay the way she is. She wants to get stronger too. It's a wholesome sibling moment amidst the training wreckage. She points her wooden sword at him with a playful grin and says, "When you get back, you're going to keep me company." She wants to spar. Aster smiles back, scratching his cheek nervously, asking her to please go easy on him. It's a stark contrast to the monster we just saw destroying the guards. It shows that despite his terrifying power, he's still a little brother who wants to protect his family, and in turn, he's inspiring them to stand up for themselves too. So Aster heads inside to the main office, knocks on the heavy wooden door, and steps into a room bathed in warm, golden afternoon light. His father, Viscount Hyfried, is sitting there, looking regal but tired, the weight of leadership written on his face. He tells Aster to have a seat. The atmosphere instantly shifts from the high-energy training ground to serious political drama. Hyfried starts by mentioning it's been 10 years since they welcomed Aster into the family. Aster looks a bit confused. He thought this meeting might be about waiting until he was older for some big responsibility, but Hyfried cuts to the chase. He slides a velvet cushion across the desk. Resting on it is a massive glittering ring with a huge red gemstone. "It's stunning," Aster asks. "What's this?" And Hyfried drops the bombshell. "The proof of the next head of house." He looks Aster dead in the eye and says, "Aster, I want you to inherit the Viscount house. This is a massive promotion for an adopted son, especially at 10 years old." Aster's eyes glow with that golden hue as the realization hits him, but Hyfried explains the logic. The Viscount house is in a delicate position. They are a branch family bearing the Elmheim name, lords governing a territory with a lot to protect. We see a visual of Hyfried standing in front of shadowy figures' ancestors, or perhaps the threats looming over them. He explains that they can't leave the successor position vacant forever. It's a move to secure the family's future stability, putting their strongest asset, Aster, officially in line for leadership. But you can see the hesitation on Aster's face. This isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility that ties him down when he feels he's not even ready to control his own power, let alone a territory. Aster immediately thinks of the family dynamic. He asks, "Are my sisters okay with this?" It's a valid question. Skipping over biological children to give the title to the adopted son is a recipe for family drama. Hyfried mentions that the sisters, who have been away at night school, will return in 3 days, and he plans to tell everyone then. We get a glimpse of these sisters in Aster's mind: Sister Manhwa, who looks elegant and calm, and Sister Kudo, who looks intense. Aster starts sweating. He knows for a fact that Sister Kudo will definitely be angry. Hyfried sighs, admitting the truth. Kudo dislikes Aster simply because he happened to be born male, while she wasn't. And to make matters worse, he just happened to be blessed with the legendary 7 wings, while she wasn't. It's jealousy mixed with gender politics, a difficult combination. Aster stands up agitated and flat out refuses. "I can't accept this," he says. He lays out his insecurities. He can't even control his own magic yet. He calls himself an immature fool who nearly hurt his own sister. That is a huge revelation. Apparently, in the past, his lack of control almost led to a tragedy involving one of the girls. He feels unworthy, dangerous even. He insists that someone like him has no confidence to convince an angry sister to step aside. He's looking at the floor, the weight of his own power crushing his self-esteem. He doesn't see himself as a leader, he sees himself as a liability. Hyfried just watches him with a gentle, knowing smile, listening to his son list all the reasons why he's not good enough, while clearly believing the exact opposite. Hyfried leans back in his chair, the sunlight catching the silver in his hair. He looks at Aster with a mix of amusement and pride. "I've often wondered from long ago if you're really a child," he says. It's an interesting moment. Aster is so mature, so burdened with adult worries, that his father questions if there's an old soul in there. Hyfried picks up a long, narrow wooden box from beside his desk. He admits that he thought the ring would be a suitable reward for Aster's performance at the sword dance gathering, but seeing Aster's hesitation, he realizes he miscalculated. "But it seems you'd be happier with this instead," he says, sliding the long box toward Aster. The box itself looks ancient, made of dark wood with brass fittings. Aster stares at it, his golden eyes widening. The lid creaks open, and inside, resting on dark velvet, is a sleek, black-handled sword with intricate gold inlays and a glowing crimson gem embedded in the crossguard. It radiates power. Hyfried introduces it with a name that lands like a thunderbolt: the magic sword gram. He explains its function, and it's exactly what Aster has been praying for. It's a blade capable of controlling the Seven Wings power. It's known as the Magic Devouring Sword. This isn't just a weapon, it's a regulator. It's the key to unlocking Aster's full potential without losing control. The chapter ends with this incredible shot of the sword glowing ominously, promising a future where Aster doesn't have to hold back anymore. Hyfrey didn't just give him a title, he gave him the means to master himself. And with that, we're set up for some serious power development in the next arc.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. It really helps me out.